Hey, Matthew here, North 40 Fly Shop, Lewiston, Idaho. Taking a little bit of time this afternoon to sit down and share one of my all-time favorite steelhead flies, the green ant. It's an older pattern that originated, was actually a salmon fly, old school salmon fly. Definitely a lot of steelheaders fish it. I fish it a lot on the Clearwater and do extremely well. It's also another favorite for Deschutes. Our three local rivers, the Clearwater, Snake, and Ronde, I've landed fish in all of them with this fly. It's one of those I never leave home without. Anyways, hope you enjoy the show. Sit down, take some notes, watch it, and hopefully add it to your fly box. Feel free to visit us, north40flyshop.com, for all of your definitely water needs, fishing reports, anything you might need. Alright, first you want to start the eye of the hook. You always want to make sure you dress the hook, that way it keeps your materials kind of bound down and not sliding around the hook. Benefits of having a rotary is it makes it a little easier. Then what I'll do is I'll stop right at the hook. The point of the hook is where I'll tie in my tag, which is a Vivus small oval. And I'll only do probably about 4, maybe 5 turns, so it's fairly small. What's nice about the oval is you can kind of pack it a little bit just to make sure there's none of your base thread showing through. And since we are having a floss or thread body, you kind of want to keep your under material. So this tag right here, I'll actually run to the return eye, so about right there, and then I'll cut it. What that's going to do is just not give you any lumps or anything underneath your thread. Then you'll get your clump of golden pheasant. And you want to stop, you can extend a little past the end of your hook right here, or you can flush. I'll typically end right at the hook bend, or just go just a little bit past it. Do a couple light wraps, pull everything so it sits on top. Then I'll start cinching it down. Just like that. I'll bring the thread forward. Stop at the return eye. Then I'll use 2 peacock quills for the butt of the fly, and I'll give them a couple turns. This fly also has a rib, so at this time I will add in my small Vivus. And I'm also giving a body of silver. The reason I'm doing an underbody, this actually, it'll help. The thread I'm using for the body is a UTC. Really makes the thread stand out, kind of makes it a little more bright. Then I'll wrap everything back. And with the peacock,
I only want just a few turns. That with the body and the rib, just to help kind of lock it into place a little bit. Then also cut it to the return of the eye. Then work your thread forward. This is just the under, so you don't necessarily need to make it like a thread, like you don't need the wraps completely tight. I mean, you can definitely take the time to do it if you want. It'll still show up fine with the end look here. Because you just want it to give it a little more extra pop when it's under the water. So then body is going to be UTC, chartreuse, or chartreuse, not chartreuse, definitely not pink. I'm going to fold it back.
Matthew?
Hi Mary.
Hey guys.
That's Mary. She works here as well, as you now know. So I do a whip finish and then tie or attach my thread, trim any extra. Hi Mary.
Hi guys. Have a good day.
You do the same. Then I'm going to finish wrapping the body. I'm going to do down and back just to give it a little bit more thread depth. Like I was saying, this is a fly I'll usually do quite a few of them at a time, so I'll tie them in stages. I'll do the body and tail and then set a couple aside, more production style. Then we'll tie off this thread. There we go. Now bring the rib forward. And the rib is just a small oval, so you can get away 5, 7 turns right in there. If it was a flat, probably wouldn't do more than 5. Then we're going to have our collar. This is a black saddle from Nature's Spirit. I did strip half a side of it. I want kind of a little bit more sparser of a look. This is a fly that I'll fish summertime, warmer water, into fall. I'll even fish it in the winter really, but I tend to keep it a little bit more sparse. So you'll wrap it forward. So you get 3 or 4 turns, then I'll strip that off. Then I'll pull fibers back, do a couple nice clean tight wraps to help kind of push the collar back. Then you're ready for the squirrel wing. Squirrel is a pretty slick product. Definitely not my favorite material to make a wing out of. So you can sub a calf tail or I guess fur of choice. I always stack mine just for the appeal. Fish definitely don't care if it's stacked. Then I want to stop, even if a rule I go with is I'll stop at the hook, the bend of the hook. Even if I extend my tail out, I won't match it. It'll just give it a longer look. Aesthetically, I prefer that. You can definitely do your choice. So I'll do a couple loose wraps, and then I'll grab the material and pull up on top and make sure it's sitting straight, which it is. Then I'll start adding some pressure. And then one last pull, making sure everything's on top. I do got some stragglers. So I am redoing the wing. Not every fly is perfect, so it definitely happens. I always find it better to just correct it rather than settle with it. Especially when it comes to steelheading, you need all the confidence you can get in. If you have a fly that you're questioning, it's already off to a bad start. That one's good, so you can see it's riding on top there. Then when I cut the tail or the butt chunk of them, I'll pull it back and then snip them. In this fly I left a little bit of room up top, right here. Sometimes fall I'll riffle hitch them. Not necessarily trying to skate them, but it just rides the water a little bit different. Especially when I'm fishing shallower, more choppy water. Not necessarily like a traditional run, but that one on. Once that is complete, definitely the head cement. And with all my flies, I'll actually go above, and then what that does is that'll end up tying in the wing, or not tying in, but more or less sealing the wing in. Some of these materials like squirrel, it's really slick without building a big bulky head. Really just kind of glues the wing on there and keeps it in place. That is the green ant. Hope you all enjoy.